Hi guys, my name is EarthToLydia. Welcome to Without Within. It's a visual novel, yes, but it's free, and it's on Steam. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Without further ado, let's begin. Vinti! 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 The chants of my fans echoed through the door in front of me. One of my two bodyguards wrapped his hand around the doorknob. Please prepare yourself, Miss Vinti. Once I open this door, we'll head straight for our limo. The guard had no reason to fret. I had long since grown used to these crowds. Still, I nodded to put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras as soon as I stepped out. My guards waved their arms to shoo them away. This red carpet was for me to walk on after all. I blew a kiss for these starstruck peasants. Oh wow. Miss Vinti, please, let us hurry, my bodyguard said. Too bad for him. I strutted along like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm their way through the crowd. They now tiptoed over my guards, in hopes of scoring that exclusive. Vinti, how does it feel to have won another calligrapher... Wait, what? Another Calligrapher of the Year award? Vinti, how does it feel to have won another Calligrapher of the Year award? A reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. Vinti, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some autographs for my kids? And two for me, of course. I can't believe I'm standing this close to Vinti! My fans stamped their dirty shoes all over the red carpet. Finally, my bodyguards pulled out the pepper sprays to keep these fans in check. Yup. A young male reached in my direction despite having a spray aimed at his face. Rather admirable for a peasant. I extended a hand for this male fan to kiss. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I hope this isn't to be taken seriously. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me, and as I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. Miss Vinti! Miss Vinti! The crowd chanted as my car window pulled up. How odd, they never referred to me as Miss. Oh, my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity, these poor things. Miss Vinti! Miss Vinti! Ellipses. Ellipses. Oh. Well, I had fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride in a limousine for a good 30 seconds. In real life, my only registered vehicle was, well, my 10-year-old bicycle. My apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, this single room with cracked walls might be an insult to the word apartment. Pull up those curtains for a spectacular $1 view featuring a sewage pipe and a wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience. Probably literally. By the way, sorry, I needed to take back the one-room thing. This place actually had 2 rooms, thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. That's still counted, right? The toilet clogged 3 times a month, so be careful when using it. Miss Vinti! Miss Vinti! A woman's voice echoed from outside. She was no fan, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at my clock. 6 AM. Waiting for an hour or 2 would have been nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent rise. Nothing good ever came out of that woman's mouth. I would be better off staying in bed. Ah, no. Coming! As I changed into something more appropriate, the landlady still kept knocking. I said I was coming, did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that was what she dug. If this were a game, we might get a sale boost too. Good morning, Miss Vinti, the landlady said. Should we give her a voice, actually? I must ask, what's with that hair? It looks like you just woke up. That's because I did. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep away your youth. The landlady shook her head. She had no right to preach to me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Vinti-flavoured pancakes. That's rude, she's not big. Miss Vinti, your rent was due 3 days ago. Oh, well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, madam. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The landlady grunted. Alright, just know that if this keeps up, you'll have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. Once she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of my cracked wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back into place. My effort resulted in more wall fragments flaking off. Great. The landlady would make me pay for that next month. Once I became an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance to shine my shoe. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps, but first I needed to put in the work. Well, that was a nice little intro. I wonder how long this game actually is. And so I returned to the busiest street in my area, with my calligraphy spread before me. I sat on the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the things that I dealt with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost every inch of space on the street ahead. Surely this would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. Ellipses. As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my will soon dwindled. Let's be honest, I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passed here. What was that old saying? 10% of the people you reached out to will buy your work. I could live with that, even just 1%. Please, anything but 0. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I poured into these calligraphies.
No, let's be calm. Chill out, Vinty, it's cool.
I decided to keep these displeasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wondered if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up from anticipation. At last, someone who spared me more than a moment with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak with the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for these? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my wall if you gave them to me for free. Seriously, this is the most shameless display I've ever seen. Trials online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then he would know just how big of a blunder he had made.
No, let's
not get into trouble now. Folks always said to ignore trolls. I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling in my face, the man strutted off. Determined to prove him wrong, I continued to sit and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Lingering here any longer would be a waste of time. As I packed my things, I insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean I had wasted all this time over nothing. Yet, if I lacked the gift, persevering might make things worse. Tears welled in my eyes and I clenched my fist to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying within the crowd. Looked like we had a lost child on our hands. Some pedestrians shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These really were horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphies to be owned by people like that. I should help the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. Oh gosh, this could end badly. Oh dear. Do we anger Mrs. Rent Lady or be one of those? No, I'd rather be late with payment than a hypocrite. I can always just talk my way out of it, right? If I judged others for abandoning a child, then did the same myself, I would be a jerk and a hypocrite. With a sigh, I walked up to the boy.
There, it's okay. Did you lose Mummy?
The boy was sobbing too hard to answer. I leaned in to stroke his back with one hand and his head with the other. Let me know if you lost Mummy, okay? I'll help you find her so there's no need to be scared. The kid managed to nod at last, and I whispered good boy into his ear. What's your mummy's name? Hungry. Her name is Hungry? The boy's tummy growled and I realised what he meant. Oh well, how about I buy you a sandwich? The kid shook his head. I want ice cream. Hey kid, ice cream is more of a dessert actually. I want ice cream. And so ice cream it was. One for him and none for me. The money came out of my pocket, of course. My poor, poor wallet. At least this kid could have eaten the whole thing rather than let half of it melt on his shirt. Jessie, the boy said. That's Mommy's name. Jessie! Jessie! I called as I strode along the street. Now people stared at me more than ever. Enough to make me blush, in fact. Maybe I should try shouting Jessie at random the next time I sold my calligraphies. The sky turned orange as time ticked by. Yes, I knew my shift started half an hour ago. Stop reminding me. A woman squeezed through the crowd and scurried towards us. She ran past a red light, nearly getting hit by a truck in the process. Mommy! The boy shook free of my hold and rushed into his mother's embrace. After muttering apologies to her son, the woman gazed toward me. Oh, thank you so much for your help. You're wonderful, just wonderful. The torrent of praises curled my lips into a stupid grin. Anyone would have done the same thing, only not because they're jackasses. Please, if there's anything I can do in return, just let me know, the mother said. Actually, there is something I need help with. The mother nodded. Anything in my power, miss? Which way back to the train station?
Oh, we did a good thing. We're good people. We are good people.
The sky had gone dark by the time I arrived at work. I opened the restaurant door gingerly to avoid making any noise. Stealth mode switched on. They called me Ninja Vinty for a reason. Miss Vinty! The voice of my boss nearly made me jump into the ceiling fan. Sorry, I'm late, I wanted to explain, but my boss glared at me, and my tongue slid out a bunch of syllables. My explanation was in there somewhere. Probably, maybe. I received an earful from my boss, but at least I got to keep my job. Several colleagues shot me frowns for not being here during such a busy period. In the end, I took all the blame without complaint. Well, at one point I locked myself inside a toilet and screamed into the bowl. I also might or might not have fantasized about dunking my workmates' heads into the toilet. That was for me alone to know, though. At least I earned the paycheck needed to keep my landlady quiet for another month. As for the month after that, we would see when the time came. All I wanted was to pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me towards finding a second job. On my way home, I spotted a banner for an upcoming visual novel named Princess Aria. The game had long been hyped on every forum I knew. Amazing art along with a cast of famous voice actors. The writer and composer were big names too. For Princess Aria to have an ad this big, there must be a lot of money behind the project. The way this banner hung high gave me a sense it was extra important. Bright lights shone in the princess's face to impress potential players. Yes, that was what I really needed. If I had a banner like that, no doubt people would line up to buy my calligraphy. I could already imagine how folks would react as I walked along the streets. Hey, I think that was Vinty. Wow, no way, you mean the famous calligrapher I see on all those banners? Yeah, she must be really good. Maybe we should ask for her autograph. My agent would then step in to speak on my behalf. Please line up in an orderly fashion, everyone. How much for an autograph? Shut up and take my money! My agent nodded in response. Autographs are available for $100, thanks. Damn, that's expensive! That would be $100, thanks, the game's shop owner said. Princess Aria cost twice what I had predicted. If I bought the game, I would have too little left for rent. I opened my wallet, hoping I might have more cash on hand than I realised. Turned out I had less, actually. I hung my head and the storekeeper sighed. His arched brows pressured me into buying a game. I did ride 3 trains to get here. Might as well pick up something. I told the shopkeeper how much money I had, and he shook his head. The store owner pulled out a different game from under his table. He brushed away the dust on it so I could see the cover. The title read, Sunflower War. Some visual novel about the battlefield. Copyright 1997, the bottom read. No wonder it was so cheap. Art by Invert Mouse, whoever the heck that was. In case I didn't put the credits in, that's the people who made this game. The front cover would fit perfectly in a kindergarten classroom. I flipped the case to see what was highlighted on the back. The game supported up to 640 by 480 resolution. Truly the pinnacle of technology. The shopkeeper grimaced. He must have sensed I wanted to say no. His stare made my palms stain with sweat, and I ended up buying the game. Dealing with folks like that had always been a weakness of mine. Remind me to never visit this store again. get a choice in that one. It was like you buy the game or nothing. That's your own fault. With heavy strides, I returned to my apartment. 0 calligraphy sales, late for work, and with rent. Topped off by blowing cash on some game I had no interest in. What I really wanted to play was Princess Aria. Forcing myself to suffer anything else would just upset me further. Yeah, but you spent money on it. You spent money on it! And you don't have to be at work until like afternoon, right? Yeah, let's play it. I did spend money on Sunflower War. Might as well give it a go. The day left me pretty drained, so this relic of a game would do a good job of putting me to sleep. I switched on my laptop and inserted the disc, which I partly hoped would fail to load from old age. Too bad it worked just fine. No doubt a lot of people were loving Princess Aria right now. Meanwhile, here I was enjoying this 640 by 480 godsend. No voice acting either. These illustrations look like they were done by a child. It would be better off closing my eyes and imagining my own artworks. The grass reached up to our knees. As I read along, I painted an image of the scene in my head. The plants rustled as we waded through. We paused once every few steps, fearing there might be snakes hiding among the bushes. Somehow, we managed to survive the evening. The sun surged from beyond the horizon, outlining the earth with an orange glow. Slowly, the blue sky emerged and vanquished the darkness that had haunted us. As light battled the soil, I found myself in a field of sunflowers. I had imagined this place to look far more terrifying, but anxiety had merely been playing tricks on me. I drew a deep breath to savor the morning fragrance. In the distance, birds chirped as if applauding our survival. I could see it. Not only that, but touch, hear and smell too, an experience crafted by my imagination. The image rivaled the strokes of any artist, and it belonged to me alone. This fulfillment inspired me to take things further. The blasts of gunfire. Oh my gosh, that hat. Oh my gosh, that hat, girl. The blasts of gunfire deafened us all as we dove behind the wall. A bullet whizzed past the tip of my helmet. Sam had passed this helmet onto me with her dying breath. I would carry on her legacy. The desert heat pinched sweat out from every pore. I desperately wanted to empty this water bottle down my throat, but with no help in sight, I must conserve every drop. Joe's eyes closed, this time never to reopen. Despite our promise to survive together, only I managed to live. How I wish I could take her place. I finished reading Sunflower War right as the clock struck 3 AM. How so many people had missed this classic left me dumbfounded. Actually, that would be a lie, as I too had every intention of tossing this game aside. I kept demanding excitement without offering an ounce of passion in return. If I played my part, I might be able to discover so much more. As Sunflower War's credits rolled, I realised just how small the development group was. The team probably knew they stood no chance against the bigger studios, yet they still did their best with dated technologies to deliver a vision they believed in. Is this trying to say something about this game? Or, you know, visual novel, whatever. The happiness they felt when working on the project poured out of every line in this game. I could gaze right into their heart, the thing I had long neglected. Aw, she's cute! Mummy, Daddy! Vinty, what is it, darling? Look, it's my calligraphy! Honey, it's calligraphy. Oh, but that's great. I think you have a lot of talent. This is so much fun. I'm going to become a calligrapher. I had forgotten the last time I found joy in calligraphy. Every stroke these days felt like a grocery chore. All I obsessed over was how much, or rather how little people paid attention to my efforts. My works no longer possessed heart, and I failed to notice it. Time to do something about that. I could hardly wait to start. After all, I chose this path because I loved it. The next day I ventured outside with a new set of calligraphies. Though I made no sales thus far, I still found myself beaming. This might explain why some people smiled back. Perhaps it was the weather, but I swore everyone felt warmer today. Mummy, there she is, the ice cream lady! A boy dragged his mother in my direction. It was that kid I helped out yesterday. The mother and I exchanged nods. Honey, the lady has a name! Oh, whoops. Honey, the lady has a name. It's rude to call her the ice cream lady. What's her name then? Oh, my. It's, well... Sorry, what is it? It's Vinty. The mother slapped her boy in the back. See? Her name is Vinty! Mummy, can we buy one of these doodles from the ice cream lady? Doodle must be another word for the top-of-the-line calligraphy. No other explanation could restrain me from shaking the brain out of this boy. My name was nowhere inside that little brain anyway. Oh my gosh, this girl is, like, so defensive. The mother checked her wallet, and her face scrunched up the way mine often did. All good, madam. I knew how it felt to be living on the edge of being homeless. Please, 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 the boy nagged on. This showed why I would never have kids. The mother relented at last and bought one of my works. Guess the boy wanted to repay my kindness. I gave his hair a ruffle as thanks. After flashing his missing tooth with a grin, he pulled his mother back into the crowd. Well, at least I scored better marks than yesterday. Another man strolled towards me. Wow, I was on a roll today. With heart on my side, my fame and fortune had arrived. Clean my shoes, peasants. Hey, it's you again, the man said. Oh, the troll from yesterday. I calmed my thoughts to avoid causing a scene. Maybe the guy came to apologise. Even a creep like him must know how rude he had been. Yes, my aura had cleansed him of all evil thoughts. Go on, empty your wallet at my greatness. Wow, these new scribbles are even worse than the ones you brought last time. Oh. Oh, wow. Somehow I had turned into an internet celebrity. Top comment? Damn! Snap! Wow, she went full crazy. Lol. Triangle mouth at 07. Illuminati! She'd be like, well, you know, bye. Haha. More like this might be a good time to look for that second job. Okay, that was cool. You know what? These days, visual novels cost quite a bit of money, particularly on Steam and, well, wherever else you buy visual novels. They tend to cost quite a bit of money. This game is free, and you know what? It's better than a lot of visual novels that I've seen. Sure, there's not much choice, and like you don't really have much choice but to follow like the one route, but you know, it's quite fun. There's humor in it, and it's half decent, and it's free, so what reason do you have to not download it, really? It's a short game, so I've got a short opinion about it, but whatever. That's all for now. Sayonara, guys. See you in the next one.